So here we are again. It's January and we got the scaffolding down yesterday, so I thought I'd do a video mostly about the outside. So it's been a while since we've been outside. One thing we've been doing when the weather allows is building this little retaining wall from gabions. So we dug up a lot of flint when we were digging out various things like the soakaway. So we kept that to one side, the nice big ones, and we've used those in the gabions alongside bricks left over from taking down the chimney and chimney breast. So we'll continue that along a little bit more. Yeah, so the idea with the retaining wall there is to just allow a little bit of change of level here. So we'll have raised the level of the soil behind there, so that we've got a kind of swale in a berm, so to allow water kind of coming down the slope to sink in, and then we can take advantage of the slightly different conditions of the higher ground behind the gabions and then the lower ground behind it for planting plants that would be happy in this place. So we're going to have to do a lot of moving around of soil. Started emptying out that bed. So we've used a few different strategies, containers for soil. The one in front of you is not very good. As you can see, it's quite bent, the metal's very thin, it's already showing signs of rust. Wasn't too expensive, but yeah, I wouldn't get one of those again. A lot of the soil we've ended up putting in builder's bags, which has been a pretty good, medium-term solution. We planted those up last year, got a decent amount of basic produce, potatoes and such like. We've also used some pallet collars, which are a nice solution, so you can stack those up. That's 3 there, so they're good for getting nice tall containers. And yes, and we've recently taken delivery of these 2 reconditioned IBCs. We're going to use those for rainwater storage. We got black ones so that we don't have problems with algae growing in the water. So they're eventually going to make their way up onto the side of the house, and then we'll get them to collect the water from the back roof. Yeah, so we've still kept quite a lot of materials around just in case we can make use of them. So we've got a lot of bricks and some quarry tiles there, which we may or may not use. I got these raised beds, galvanised, and they're super good. They weren't too expensive, and the metal's much thicker, they hold their shape much better. So as you can see, I bought them in bulk, and I've got some more to put together inside. So we'll have at least a couple of rows of these planted up. Got some garlic and onions there overwintering. And we've still got a lot of soil to move around on the site. We're going to dig out a path, so the soil from there we'll put in the bed, and then all these untidy bags of rubble, hardcore left over from the project, some of which we crushed in a crusher that we hired, so it's all of a decent size for using it as hardcore under the path. What else have we got? Yeah, so that's our flint collection. As you can see, we've still got quite a lot to use. Some more bricks, big pile of soil there from when we had to dig out the terrace that was in front of the house. So eventually that's all going to go into raised beds. We've kept some of the old roof battens on top just to shelter the soil, keep it in good condition, and those we'll just throw into the the raised beds to provide some kind of water holding capacity at the bottom of the beds. Yeah, so this is where the last bit of the scaffolding was. I'm glad that's all gone now. And I thought I'd show you a couple of outsidey things today. So one is our guttering. So we went for the galvanised steel guttering, which looks great and I think will, last really well. We went for a wide gutter. I think we went for 125 centimetres. So that's in anticipation of kind of heavier rainfalls that are going to be part of the changing climate. We haven't quite finished it, but hoping we're going to get a builder back to finish off the guttering around there. And then under here we're going to have 3 IBCs in this area here, and then some storage at the end, and a terrace above it. Haven't quite got the design for that, but that means when someone comes out the doors, they'll have somewhere to stand. That will be a good thing. Yeah, so it's been pretty wet, so although I'd love to tidy up the garden more, we're just a bit wary of churning it up, so looking forward to some dry weather to get stuck in out here now. That black pipe is a condensate pipe from the MVHR. We need to fix it to the wall, but apart from that, that's all good. And yeah, so you can see we've done the external wall insulation here. So we DIY'd this. This part has been done, so we stuck on the EPS blocks, and then did the base coat of render and then the top coat. It was all pretty durable. Some bits were more fiddly than others. Around the windows we've used APU beads, which helped get a sort of clean edge and good weather tightness. I put some of them on incorrectly, so they weren't quite touching the frame, but once they're on you can't really move them, and I didn't realise that they weren't well positioned until I peeled off the covering which protects the seal while you're putting on the render. So I put some silicone in behind in the gaps. You can't really see the gaps from here, but they're about maybe 3 or 4 mil. So I just bunged in some silicone and hoped for the best, really. Didn't seem to be another option, but yeah, if you are using them, make sure they're flush tight against the window frame, otherwise you'll regret it. We've got some electrical cable here that's ready for the air-to-air heat pump, which we're going to have installed when the grant comes in, and we'll have the unit itself, the outside part of the unit, somewhere sort of here. Have to build a concrete base for that. Managed to get some second-hand or surplus paving slabs, so we'll use those on the path, left over from someone's project, and then we'll use them along here where we've no longer got ones on site that we can reuse. This is what the EWI looks like before the top coat render. I don't know if you can see much detail there, but our rendering wasn't super fine. You can see there's some lumps in it and ridges, and then you can see the mesh, texture of mesh here a little bit, which we put over the EWI blocks. But I know that when the top coat goes on, it covers this level of imperfection. So if you're doing it, don't stress too much about getting it perfect on the base coat. This will be fine once the top coat goes on. You can see here a little bit more work in progress. So these are the EWI boards fixed in. This is the base coat, and we've got the section with the primer that goes on below the top coat, just like a sort of paint stuff. We had to stop doing the EWI because of the weather. It was either too wet or too cold, but we'll continue along here when weather allows. We just put on a profile at the top there to provide a drip line to keep that wall below it dry. This is where those two IBCs are going to be sitting. We've made the gutter stick out from the building, so some kind of basic arch, and then we're going to connect the pipework from that gutter to the IBCs. I don't think we've got anything interesting here, particularly. Just a load of leftover building materials. One day they'll all go. We'll just pop inside, but I think that's most of what there was to see. Let's see. So inside, we've pretty much done the plastering. So those reveals. So they've got like a bit of a wobbly line, and at a certain point I decided I quite liked the wobbly line. So it looks quite rustic maybe, but we're quite happy with the look of that kind of soft edge. And even here, where it was plasterboarded, I've kind of plastered over it to sort of continue that sort of softer corners for the plastering. I'll just show you in here. So this was what the wood wall was, where the wood wall was before, so I plastered that, and actually I was trying to make it flat there, and that's worked pretty well just with lime plaster. 3 coats, increasingly thin, and then in here we're kind of going to be working on the floor soon. So we've got this cork cement screed that we've put down. It's the builders did it, and it's, I think, quite hard to get it level compared to a normal cement and sand screed. So there are some areas which are, higher than others. So we've done some self-leveling compound. I left this area at the side here because that was quite high. I rubbed it down a bit, but I'm going to check it, and I think we might need to grind or somehow work that down to get a level floor. And then very soon we're going to be putting in flooring, which is this repurposed, that's not the right word. Anyway, this old flooring, hardwood, oak, tongue and groove. So we're going to have that as a floating floor over the screed, probably with a cork underlay under it. So, oh, that's Andy making a noise. This is our spare room. Anyway, I think we're done. I'll stop now before it gets too noisy. Bye for now.